Hello, I'm Old Norse specialist Dr. Jackson Crawford. Perhaps not popular among those who are interested in Old Norse and Viking studies, there are nevertheless some skaldic poems from during the conversion to Christianity of the Norse people. Some of the most interesting are found in the saga of an Icelandic poet who was called Hallfreðr Vandræðaskald, Hallfreðr the trouble poet or troublesome poet. He was very resistant to converting to Christianity, but because he served under King Olafr Tryggvason of Norway, who was a missionary Christian king, he was forced to accept baptism. Several skaldic poems recorded in his saga relate how conflicted he is about this conversion, and also tell us a little bit about, of course, the attitude of a believer in the pagan gods, in the Asir, in the late period in which that religion was practiced. So I'm going to read you these poems from the saga in Old Norse in reconstructed medieval pronunciation, and then with my own translations of these poems. Hallfreðr at til hilli, Óðins skipa ljóðum, algildar mank aldar, idjur vora niðja. En træður þvitt velviðris, vald hugnaði skaldi, legg og frumver flygjar, þjón þvitt Kristi þjónum. The whole family of humankind has made poems for Odin's favor. I recall the very worthwhile achievements of our ancestors. I am reluctant because Odin's reign was to the liking of this skald, but now I regard Odin with hate, for we serve Christ. A second poem by Hallfreðr Vandræðaskald on his conversion. Fyrr vas hitt es hara, hlidskjálvar gat skjálvan, skipt es og gumna giftu, geðskjótan vel blóta. Before, I would offer sacrifices to the brilliant lord of Hlidskjalf himself. Hlidskjalf is Odin's throne. But men's luck has improved. This appears to be just a half of a stanza, as does this next one. Hofnum holda reyfir, ravenblóts góða nafni, þess es ól við lof lyða, lóm or heitnum domi. Enricher of men, coming from heathendom, we forsake the name of the priest of the raven sacrifice, the one who promoted indecency for men's praise. This is incidentally my favorite kenning for Odin, priest of the raven sacrifice, ravenblóts góði. Of course, the raven sacrifice being battle, because that's when you give ravens something to eat, an image we see very often in Norse poetry, such as in Krokumál. Here's a complete stanza. Mer skuli frør og frøya, fjörð letk af dúl njarðar, lignes grom við grímni, gramr og þor en rami, krisk vilk aldrar ostar, leið sonoreiði, vald og frakt unfoldar, feather ein og góð kveðja. Frøy will hate me now, and Frøya, and the mighty Thor. Last year I gave up the lies of Njord. May the devils have mercy on Odin. I don't want the anger of Christ. I will call on Christ and God for all grace. He alone is all power and glory in the world, beneath his Father. And a final stanza from the saga of Hallfreðr Vandræðaskald and his conversion. Sos með sugna resi síður at blót kviðjuð, verðum flest at forðask, forn haldin skop norna. Lota allir ytar Óðins blót fyrróða, verk og nøyder frónjarðar, niðjum Krist at byðja. The current custom is that sacrifices are banished by the Lord of Norway. Most of us must escape the long ago established fates of the norms. All men have thrown sacrificing to Odin away. I also am forced away from Njord's children to call on Christ. So surely not just religious fervor, but also the feeling that his job is being challenged, his profession, his artistry, his identity is being challenged by this conversion, comes through in these stanzas, and the fact that they are preserved at all. They do appear to be legitimate poems from about the year 1000, when Olafr Tryggvason was king of Norway. It really speaks to the fact that Icelanders were much more tolerant than other medieval Christian peoples in preserving the memories of their pagan ancestors, including people who very just baldly admitted that they had a problem with the new religion. Well, I hope this has been interesting and informative for you. I hope that if you enjoy these presentations, you'll check out my Patreon page. And from beautiful Colorado, I'm wishing you all the best.